Hold my beer.
A lot of the things that I do report on this channel actually are the facts. I'm Satan, basically. I understand that as a public figure, my job means that I will be criticized, and I am fine with that. Bull crap, okay? I don't care if you talk about me. I don't care if everyone talks about me. No. Talk about me. I talk about people all the time. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I do. You can monetize the hell out of me. I don't care. Talk about me. She's a nasty, vile human being that needs to be held accountable.
Well, hey y'all, and welcome back to Janet being Janet. Now, I told you Miss Kitey was over there going after Miss Amy Duggar on Insta. Well, guess what? Now then we're doing an Ask Me Anything. And so let's just scroll through these real fast and see what Amy's husband had to say. Most of you know that I've covered the Duggars and the IBLP since 2018. I've made many contacts, spoken to many people, and I know facts that don't change. So please ask me a question about anything and the book. I'd love videos on your take on the book. I don't know yet, so ask me a question here. You mentioned lies in the book. Are you able to elaborate? There are so many inconsistencies, but the story about Grandpa Duggar and a teenage girl came from the mouth of Jim Holt. He told Amy and Deanne that at lunch. They called me from lunch and told me Jim Holt did not know the story firsthand, didn't know who the victim or the woman was, and never identified the victim. Jim Holt also accused two other Duggar sons of SA, without proof or victims coming forward. I learned quickly that Jim Holt is not a reliable narrator. I know for a fact he is the source, and I know for a fact he didn't even know if it was true. What surprised you the most about the book? That she used stories told her by Jim Holt as the foundation for some of the quote-unquote predatory allegations against Grandpa Duggar. Listen, JL was a monster. He cheated, he beat his wife and kids, he stole and went to prison, but the unnamed woman, quote-unquote molested in a pool, is a nameless person. Jim Holt didn't know the information firsthand and just repeated a rumor he heard. He couldn't even provide a name. And if this person is a victim, publishing the victim's trauma in a book seems like it's not anyone but that person's story to tell. Amazon refused to use any of the allegations related to JL in their series because all of it was unsubstantiated. I think publishing this and reporting a disturbing question and repeating a disturbing question that was asked to a pedophile is strange. The italicized stuff she never said to him, but also, why would the first response be, quote unquote, why didn't you do anything to me? And the other part is that despite the knowledge that Josh SA'd his sisters, Amy remained in Josh's life until the raid. She forgave him. So did Deanna. So it's hard to wrap my head around all of this. Does she talk about losing her store and the restaurant money issues? Nope, nothing. Or that Deanna actually deeded her and Dylan the inheritance, quote unquote, of two commercial buildings, which they mortgaged to nearly $1 million. Nor did she discuss both of them skipping out on business leases, getting sued by the landlords, or selling their house they got from Mary Duggar to pay off their tax debt. Now here's where it gets interesting. King Dill Pickle came back and said, wow, so much wrongful information. So he's calling Miss Kitey out. Did Amy have a computer from Josh with images? This is the first time that I have ever heard this story. I remember very clearly that a young man that was friends with them came out publicly with a story about finding content on a computer he obtained from Josh. Amy and I even spoke about this, and she never one time mentioned she had a computer from Josh. But when I read her take, I remembered she said this in 2022. quote unquote. I let them in and they just sat there and just asked me questions about the family, whether I knew anything, and I was just blown away. I wasn't even sure what they were asking me about. So I was just like, I don't know what you're getting at. Of course, they don't tell you because they're fishing for information. She went on to say, quote unquote, so I had nothing to honestly give them. I said I wish I could tell them more about whatever happened, but I knew nothing. And then we end this with pedo probe. Amy Duggar reveals she was secretly questioned by Homeland Security in disgraced cousin Josh's child porno case. She told The Sun in 2022 that she had nothing to give HSI and the feds were fishing for info that she knew nothing about. In 2025, she claims that they asked her about the porn on a computer she got from Josh 10 years before. And so I guess she dug up this whole article from back in 2022 to try to prove her point, because Miss Coyote really does like to do her quote unquote research, right? But anyways, I wanted to make something short and sweet for you, so I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this, and remember to smile today or make somebody else smile, because it really can make a difference. If she goes on another posting spree, don't worry, I'll bring it to you. Why? Because I cover Miss Kitey, and we all know she's got a lot going on right about now, so we'll see what she does next. All right, guys, y'all have a good one for me. Bye.